Hi, this is Zak Mir with the US Chartbreakers here at Zak's Traders Cafe for Monday, the 29th of April. Starting off with the S&P, which seems to have got into a more stable mode after the 2 to 3 weeks of sell-off to start off April. We've got a rising trend channel there from October. We've gapped up off the floor of the channel and heading towards the 50-day moving average in that March resistance line there around 51.20. End of day close above 51.20 could be looking to retest the best levels of the year around 52.60 by the end of next month. Best case scenario would be up to 54.70, which is the top of that channel over the next 4 to 6 weeks. On the downside, below the recent support there around 49.50, risks down to 49.30, which is basically post February support. As usual, the Nasdaq is next, and here we've also had a gap higher off the floor of that channel there from back in October. We've got the 50-day line here around, around 18,000, and a March resistance line there from the early part of that month around 18,100. 18,100 the level to break, and if we can do that, then we could be up towards the new highs there, 19,000 at the top of that rising trend channel by the end of next month. On the downside, hopefully not much lower than 17,600. There's a gap there to fill around 16,700 from back in January. Moving on to the stocks, and here we have a previous situation that we were looking at in the form of Novis. Here we've got a rising trend channel, a wide one. Obviously, we had that abortive rally around the turn of the year and looking to retest the main $22 resistance zone for this stock. Above 22, looking for the top of that rising trend channel from July last year, as high as $28 by the end of June. In the meantime, I'd like to see the shares remain above resistance on the way down around the $14 mark, but a little bit in the middle of the range there between $12 and $22. Moving on to a newer name, and here it comes in the form of Air Industries. You can see here that we've got this wide rising trend channel from basically this time last year, top of the channel, heading for $8. We're looking for that by the end of next month, especially after the strong end to the week, and we would like to see the shares remain above that $5.30 level, which was resistance on the way down at the beginning of last year. New name for the Chartbreakers coming up with CLIN Therapeutics, and here massive breakout here after the mid-move consolidation that we have between 16 and around the $19.40 mark. Above $20, looking for the top of that rising trend channel from the end of October, heading towards $28, hopefully over the next week or two. We return to the next stock, which has been one which has been on our radar for a while. We've got IBIO, and here breaking out to new higher ground, at least 1 year plus resistance through the $7 mark, above $7, looking for the top of that rising trend channel from September 2022, as high as $16 to be hit perhaps as soon as the end of next month, or maybe going into June, but certainly looking for the $10 area over the near future. Another stock which has been on the move is IGM Biosciences, and here looks like we finally found a floor here at the floor of that rising trend channel from back in April last year. Top of the channel there, and the top of the range through $18. If you're cautious, you wait for the 50-day line around the $9.50 level to break, which it looks like we're very close to at the moment, and then that would take us up to $18, hopefully by the end of next month. Another name to remember in the near term is hopefully Mobix, and here nice W-shaped turnaround here for the shares. A rising trend channel base, and that's been in place since the start of the year. Top of the channel there, heading for $4.60. We're looking for that over the next 2 to 3 weeks, while we remain above resistance on the way down, just below the $3 mark. The only missing ingredient at the moment is for that 50-day line to start rising as well, and that would add momentum to that situation. One of the best stocks on the market at the moment is Nvidia, and even though people keep trying to call it down, the shares seem to be quite determined to maintain the uptrend, but within that rising trend channel from back in August. Top of that channel there, heading for 1071, and we're looking for that while we're above the now rising 50-day moving average around the $850 mark. If you're fussy and looking for an extra trigger, you can see that there has been a March resistance line there blocking these shares, and they have got through that, as well as having broken through the 50-day line. 850, the key level there really for the stock. We do break down then the first support just around the $795 level at the floor of that channel. We looked at the next stock just a few days ago, Poet Technologies, and here we have the shares making a beeline for the top of that rising trend channel base from October. That's around $303.35. That could be hit over the next couple of weeks while we remain on the right side of $2, which was the previous call. Another repeat from the recent past is SolarMax, and here rising trend channel, obviously not much charting data here, but rising trend channel. We bounced off the floor of the channel there around $6.60, looking for $18 perhaps as soon as the end of next month, particularly if we can break the recent peak around $10.90 on an end of day close basis. One of the former tech glories was Snap, and here the shares seem to have reversed that massive gap down that we had back in February. Really up in the open air at the moment, but the old resistance from back in July last year around 1380, and above that we're looking for a retest, obviously, of the recent resistance, turn of the year resistance at $18 by the end of next month or even sooner. But the key here, really holding above or at and around that $13 band. On to the last three. The first one, a decent situation, as you'll see in a second. Tutor Perini, and here we've managed to break the previous target area around $13.30 and headed into a narrower and steeper channel. Top of that channel heading for $23. We're looking for that by the end of next month while we remain above the floor of the current channel around the $15 mark. Another nice situation to look at the moment, Universal Logistics. Here we've gapped through the resistance by quite some margin. The old resistance around $38. Friday support around $40, and the longer we stay above 40, the greater the chance of move to $56 at the top of that rising trend channel. The trend channel has been alive since February last year, and looking for $56 over the course of the next 4 to 6 weeks. Finishing off with another recent highlighted situation, Zurcher, and here looks like we're going to make it towards the top of that broadening triangle base, the top of the triangle there around the $5.10 area. I'm looking for that over the next week or two while we remain above recent resistance in the $3.80 area. But nice snapback there, and obviously the main resistance, as you can see, post-October, just above the $5 mark. I'd like to see the shares remain on the right side of $4 in the meantime. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.